All right, everybody, we are back with another episode of What for the Culture, man. It is your host, Ollie Brady. Got me a repeat guest, man. If y'all was, all my prior listeners, y'all already know who this man is. Got my boy Royal. You already know, met him a while back at a networking event actually out here in Dallas. He has a DNA testing business, which is quite unique. I never met nobody with one. He out here killing it in the game. When y'all first heard him on the podcast, he was still getting general, understand, really getting it going, hitting his stride. And now he just full-fledged. Also, he's teaching other people how to get going in this business as well. Now he has students out here making money. So it's been probably I think it was probably about 6 months or so since I had him on last.
I would say.
And it just goes to show you though how quick something can take off, man. Because a lot of people, and I mean, I've had this experience as well. Like you'll start something and you don't immediately see success. And so you start to doubt yourself. You start to wonder if this is like for you. And it's one of those things where you have that question that comes up, do I pivot or do I persevere through it and push through it and just keep going? And sometimes you have to pivot. And sometimes it's just a matter of you haven't given something enough time to mature into something. Like I did Turo. Turo was like an instant hit for me. But at the same time, I understood that I didn't want to go the tour route because I didn't want to over leverage. And that's a thing that people don't consider often nowadays because y'all see the Instagram hype and y'all see all these gurus out here that's out here making tens of thousands of dollars and not realizing, well, hey, I got to take on debt to get to this point. Unless you are fortunate enough to be able to cash out certain things and you just have an influx or a surplus of money set to the side. So first off, man, how you doing, Roy? Appreciate you for coming back on, my brother.
Yeah, thank you, Ollie. I appreciate you for inviting me back on. I'm good, man. Like I said, I can't complain. I got my health. Wife is happy. Home is happy, man. We're good, man. We're good. Everything is looking good in the business too. So yeah, thank you.
For sure, man. I know you recently, last time I had you on, you was hitting a stride, but can you just kind of give everybody a breakdown of how everything's going with you for business? I know you got when we first spoke, you was just thinking about doing a course. Mm-hmm. Now you've actually launched that, got that going. Can you just kind of tell everybody how everything is going on your end?
Oh man, so many changes, man. so many developments. So when we last spoke, I'll go into it almost chronologically. When I think it was like maybe August.
Yeah, it was like September, somewhere in there.
Frame. So August, like you said, I was essentially just getting my footing, especially in El Paso, Texas. That's where I relocated in the military. So I just moved to El Paso in April. It was, I finally started to focus on El Paso around July, August time, around the time we met at the Black Wealth Renaissance conference. And so, I'll be transparent. I knew how to run a DNA testing. I knew how to do it. I knew how to do the swabs and stuff like that. But when it came to the actual income, it takes a little minute to get it off the ground. If you're learning it all by yourself without a course, without instruction, right? So in August, I had only made a total of about $3,000 in revenue total. Okay, by the time I was on your podcast, full transparency. All right. In September, my wife moved in with me. She finished her master's degree. She moved in with me from Atlanta. Okay. I taught her how to answer the phone because, mind you, I'm at work. I'm trying to answer phones. I got this, that going on.
That's tough. I already know.
Yeah, I was trying to advertise in multiple cities, all this stuff, right? These are lessons that I learned when I taught my wife how to answer the calls and stuff like that. From September to December, we made about $17,000 from September to December. Okay. It went up astronomically because I was able to outsource a certain part of the business. Now that's 17,000 solely in DNA testing. That's not courses or anything else. All right. Okay. So like, that's just how things progress, man. So yeah, my wife answers 99% of the calls now. I mean, she is a closer, man. She is a closer when it comes to those incoming calls. I set up the course Paternity University, which shows, students how not to do the same mistakes I made, you know what I'm saying, when I was setting my stuff up and get to profitability within a month or two instead of 6 to 7 months. So we're at about 60 or 70 students now We got students that set up their paternity testing business in New Orleans, San Diego, Atlanta, DC, Delaware, Orlando, Tampa. We got students all over the place that are really doing their thing, man. I mean, got a student the other day, made $1,400 off of one paternity test. You know what I'm saying? And it's her leads are starting to roll in, So it's been interesting since the last time we talked. Business has exploded. And then I've created a whole community, and I'm almost done with the software as a service, with the SaaS company, a software that will help DNA agency owners manage their entire businesses essentially. So that's the progress since the last time we spoke.
All right, hold on. I forgot. Talk about that software because I remember I see you mentioned on Twitter, but we never really dove into that.
Yeah, man. So so the DNA testing industry is a little antiquated with some of their systems. All right, with communicating with clients, managing clients, managing leads, invoicing them. We use a whole bunch of different systems. We use QuickBooks for here, Gmail for that. Uploading results is different. People call in, they wonder where the results are. There is no tracking system for clients on the client side. I recognized that problem in about August. It was like August, September-ish timeframe. And I called a couple of DNA. I was like, yo, what do y'all use for this? And they're like, we use this, that, and there's problems with this portal, all that. I was like, would you use a portal that had everything in one for you? They're like, absolutely, I would pay for that. And I'm like, okay, bet. So that's how Gray Helix was born. That's the software company that I'm building as well. And it's in the last, I've been saying this on Twitter for a while, but my tech consultant, he helps oversee the developer that is building the actual software. And so there are some final bugs and things that we're improving to make sure that the minimum viable product, that's your first product. I think that's even before beta phase. Your minimum viable product is something that people want to use and give you feedback on. We're making sure that's all squared away before I officially release it. But it's been a ride, man, learning how to build a software. I don't write not one lick of code, by the way. I do not write code. I know nothing about it, but I knew to reach out to the right people. And there's a guy's course named SaaSwiz. I'm not an affiliate or nothing like that, but he's on Twitter and he has a really good course on how to build your own software company. So yeah, man, we got the course, the software company, and the DNA testing business all going.
And it's crazy because I know a lot of people. So I just want to mention this because a lot of people will say, average millionaire got 7 streams of income, and a lot of people will think, right? They'll think that means I got to do 7 different things. But just you speaking on what you got going on right now at the DNA testing business, you already done branched out. This is three potential income just off of this. I don't know how far it can go, but
technically, it's 11.
Okay.
Technically, it's 11 because within DNA testing, I can offer 9 different services.
Okay, I got you.
Which are different income streams within themselves, essentially. And then the course is another income stream, and then the software is another income stream as well. So yeah, I mean, you're right. I say that all the time. I tweeted, hey, you don't have to have 7. You don't have to be. I think I forgot his name. Andre Hatchett interviews him all the time. He's one of the big cleaning students as well from the Heart Zogs. But he was
Alex. Yeah, I've had him.
Yeah. Alex, trucking, freaking rental properties, freaking cleaning business, and then a notary business. And it's like, no. Just focus on that one thing. And there may be different streams of income that you can develop from that one thing right there, So that's how it's been, man. That's how the development's been. But I know you, sir, you have been doing a lot of things. You got out of the Turo business. I know you explained that on your last podcast, but I mean, for the folks that may not have heard that, let us know about that, man.
Yeah, so I mean, basically, I'm not gonna say Turo's great. Don't get me wrong. If you have the capacity, especially all work from home people, which I'm at that point now because I'm working from home, and I'm thinking about putting my car back on Turo for that reason, but just as a side income. Yeah. But for people that want to do full out businesses and stuff like that, you just need a little bit more time. You have to understand what the car market right now, used car market is crazy high. Like, it's ridiculous, which is part of the reason I got out of the business, mainly because of the amount of money I was able to cash out on the Jeep that I was renting out at the time. So it was kind of a culmination of, I've been wanting to do the cleaning business anyways, because it's something that is not really client facing. Like, it's cool. Like, I can get on the phone and talk to somebody and land bookings. I don't really want to be in front of the customer. I don't want to be so active and like, I understand you have to be active in a business, right? But I didn't want to at the time be active in a business where I was at a point, I was over here dropping off deliveries at the airports every other day for bookings. And then, having to manage not only that, but being able to get to work, navigating that schedule. And at the time I was on second shift, so it wasn't that bad. But then when I switched over to first shift, it was a point where I couldn't really fulfill no bookings because I missed work, or I'd be late and stuff like that. And that's kind of, that ain't really how I roll. So it was starting to take an impact where I had to start figuring out different times to do that. And it was working out all right. Once I switched to first shift, my schedule kind of switched up a little bit. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just chill out on this for right now. At the time, I was, I still do my investing on my own, like passively. Some days good, some days bad, whatever. But for me, Turo was more of a, after I realized I wasn't going to get the fleet that I wanted to get based on the car market and the prices and the numbers having to make sense, right? So I'm a numbers person. Like, I need to run, like, I want to run numbers, especially with Turo. Like, you need to run the numbers and understand what's going on when you get a car, because you getting in debt when you buy these vehicles. So you have to understand, like, am I going to actually see a return on this? And most of the time, like, I've bought 3 vehicles and had to take them all back. I looked up every single time. One of them was I was gonna partner with my boy, ended up not working out. Another one, found out it had a recall, and if anybody knows about Turo, and I spoke about this, you can't have any cars. You can do it on hire car, but on Turo you can't have no cars open recalls. And I remember I got that one. Listening to the guy at the dealership, thinking the recall was a quick fix. I ended up calling the next day after getting the car, finding out that there's no ETA on when they're gonna even have this part, and they can't even know they have a fix. So I was able to lie my way out of that and get the car back over there. And then so at that point, I just kind of hit a point where I was like, every car I buy seemed to be something, a problem, right?
Yeah.
So I just was, like, and it was like, it's already hard enough to find a deal that makes sense in the price range you want. It's competitive as hell out here in Dallas. So it was like, I was cool just letting my Jeep ride out for a little bit. I was making like $1,000 a month. Profit wise, I mean, I was fortunate enough where I moved to, one of my employees stayed here at the time, so I was able to start catching rides with him to work. But then when I switched to first shift, everything messed up. So it started, like, it was $1,000 a month. That was enough to cover car note, insurance, still pocket a little bit of money for myself.
Yeah.
And so what I would do with that, I just put it into crypto or something. That's just kind of how I would operate. I ain't nothing to put back into the business really, as far as how I was.
So you sold being used as a startup money to start your cleaning company. So when you start your cleaning company, do you have to buy the materials and supplies and stuff? Well, what was the startup cost for the cleaning company?
So let me just be completely honest with everybody. Like, it ain't really like the startup cost. Honestly, you can start a cleaning business under $1,000.
Yeah.
So what I did, people, I sold my Jeep because they was willing to offer me and we talk about, I got this Jeep in July of 2021. I sold it January 2022. So we talk about 6-7 months. And I had already made four or five grand or so. I took it off of Turo after about 4 months because my schedules got real hectic and I needed the vehicle. Between renting out cars, so I was making like $1,000 a month. So we talk about 4 grand or so before I stopped doing Turo. Then a couple months later, really right after I took it off Turo, I started seeing a crazy influx in the price of the Jeep because I would always check because I knew the market was crazy right now for used cars. But then so I was only profiting probably like 3-4 grand at the time when I was checking. That was around Christmas time. So then I was just like, you know what? Let me just check again. It was probably like a month or so later, sometime in January. I was like, let me just see. The market had bumped it up to 6 grand in profit I would pocket. So I was like, you know what? I had already been doing the cleaning business course from the Heart Zones, Heart Money on Instagram. Shout out Anthony Chinoka. I'd already looked at that course. I knew that was a better route for me just based off of there's not a lot of overhead. And the fact that I don't have to be in this business really at all. Like, I don't have to go clean no houses. I work with contractors, so I don't have to go buy product. The hardest part of this job is finding leads. It really is not even finding leads, it's finding good cleaners.
Good
Right.
cleaners,
So
yeah.
currently I have 2. And don't get me wrong, if everybody that said they was gonna do this was gonna actually showed up to do it, I probably have about 10. So that just shows you like the nature of the game is finding somebody that's a good cleaner. And I got 2 good ones right now that rock with me. My goal is to get them up to 5K each in revenue a month. So that'll hit my goal of 10 grand a month. That's what I want to be for the first year. I'm trying to hit that 6-figure mark year 1. So far, I've been doing it for a month and change. I started February, was like my official start. So we're talking about, I'm at about 2 grand in revenue, which ain't bad considering I wasted my whole first month. And we could talk about marketing later on. That's probably something you have to think about. So I'll say I'm out here in Texas, $300 and I think it's $330 to do LLCs out here. I can't remember the exact price. I think it's $330 for LLC. Gusto is where I do my HR stuff like payroll and all that. With that's super cheap. It's $6 a contractor. So I don't even like, unless I hire somebody, I ain't got to worry about nothing with that. I pay about $29-$30 a month for Grasshoppers. That's what I use for my phones. And everything else, I do 200 a month for the booking software, which is Launch 27. And I do my website and stuff like that, which that price could vary. Everything is in the hard results course. I will say that. Like, I think I paid at the time, I don't know what it is now, but I think at the time I waited, I probably paid like $397 for it.
Okay.
I'd have made that back. So I don't even care. But that pays for itself. Like, even if the course, honestly, if the course is $1,000 right now, I don't know where the price point is now, but even if it was $1,000, you'll make that back.
Yeah,
probably within a couple months.
It's worth it because, you know, and this is good course creators do this for a purpose. Like, the price is the price. It's worth it because you're essentially cutting down on the amount of crap that your students would have to go through if they wouldn't have had the course. Like, if you would have, I mean, I don't know, maybe you probably would have figured it out.
No, let me tell you something. I wouldn't have known where to, like, I'd still be stuck on the website portion because I'd have been trying to find a developer or something to do this. Like, it's real simple. You get a theme, like, don't get me wrong, it's a little expensive. Per se, you can find better routes. People that I'm in a Slack, they got some community that I pay for monthly. I'm in there so I figure things out completely, and I'll probably leave. But people are willing to like try the other routes. Like, I just wanted the easiest route, so I pay like $200 a month for a website or booking software. It's a little expensive, some people will say, but for me, I don't have to think about nothing. All I gotta do is hit up a guy with an email and be like, hey, can you change this on the website? And it's done within 24 hours usually. Sometimes it's done even faster depending on what time I email them. So that's why I like it. The booking software, you're going to pay. It's $100 a month, but it does everything. Like the package I pay for, they got different packages, but the package I pay for $100 a month, I get my booking form, and it makes it, this is where it takes your cleaning business to the next level. Like, I get a call, all I got to do is be like, hey, how about this? You found me on, most of these people found me on Google. So you found me on Google. What's your email address? Let me send you this booking form. Well, you get a free second a day because I know you're busy right now. It's early in the morning. It'll take you about 60 seconds to fill out. So you take your 60 seconds out the day, you fill this out, you can book online. You don't even have to talk to me. I don't have to go through all this. We don't have to have back and forth. Make it easy. I'll tell you the price. If it's something you're comfortable with, cool, I can send this over to you. Most times, I mean, hey, you well over 50%, they're gonna book. So I like that. Like, I like having that conversation. I go do some other stuff, whether I'm doing work or, you know, whatever. And then I get email with a booking. So I'm like, hey,
let's talk about the similarities and differences between the cleaning business and the DNA testing business when it comes to customer acquisition, you know, and leads and stuff like that. Cause I'm very curious is similarities and differences between cleaning, DNA testing, and notary, which I love seeing.
Man,
talk about it.
Let me tell y'all something. There's money in these middleman jobs. Like imagine, being a middleman allows you to do something that people that are direct owners that actually have to work in their business, they're, you know, them sole proprietors, they actually go do the jobs. They can't scale that way. If you're the middleman, you find a work for everybody else, you able to scale that because then you can hire out a team to start taking calls. Cause that's where I plan on going eventually. Like, you know, I can hire a team, start taking calls. Then that just, that adds another aspect of things. Now I can kind of increase my marketing. I can get more calls because it's almost, weird enough, the more money you put into marketing, the more you're gonna get hit up. It's crazy to think that, because you just be thinking when you first get started with this that you just paying this imaginary, like, oh, I'm just putting this imaginary number, I'm gonna pay weekly. I don't know what's gonna come of it. And then when you actually start getting calls, like, oh, Dad, you found me on Google.
This is it. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, you get that. I don't. Okay, so here's how it is in the DNA testing business. How we get leads. It's really interesting, and it's somewhat similar to you, but the way that we communicate with them is a little bit different. So I have the same thing. I have Google Ads. You know, I spend about $900 a month on my Google Ads, $30 a day, something similar to that, on around that number, right? Now I do. I used to spend only $5 a day or $7 a day. I don't do Yelp. I tried Thumbtack. They don't even have a category for paternity.
Man, I'm sorry. I gotta stop you. I got. Let me tell you something about Thumbtack, man. Thumbtack. Don't get me wrong. I know people out there that say they've had success with Thumbtack.
Yeah,
man. If it's me personally, don't waste your time. I wasted so much money the first month on Thumbtack that yielded no results. All it did was yield me getting stressed the hell out because I wasn't getting any bookings, and I was constantly changing the prices on my website to yield a customer on Thumbtack. It wasn't just my ideal customer, right?
it's because they were price shopping, right?
They price shop, and I'm telling you, they want you to do 1,000 things for $20 type deal. And it's like, I started tweaking my prices, and I'm talking about, I'm overboard. I'm tweaking it 2-3 times a day because you're so hungry to get that first booking and try to get you some traction going. And I found myself literally 2-3 times a day changing prices. And when I didn't realize is it ain't that, I just need to go find the right client that fits what I offer. Because at the end of the day, you still got a business. You still got to make it where it's profit. Like for me, I employ contractors. So I want to make sure they get compensated well. I try to get my contractors 25 to 35 an hour on these jobs. I do a 60-40 split, but I want it to equate to that for them because I want to make it worth their while. I also want people to come work for me over the next person. You feel me? So
yeah, that makes sense.
I'm cool taking, if it's $100, like what is $100 job, I'm cool taking that $40 because all I did was answer a phone and send an email.
Yeah, you're just coordinating.
You talk about 30 seconds of work.
Yep.
You brought in $40. Yeah. On a low end. What if the booking is a $400 booking? Because I have $400, $500 bookings. Like, what if it's that? So now you done made 40% of that for the same 30 seconds. It just depends on the size of the job.
Yeah, that's like I said, and it's the same type of thing in paternity testing. So we in paternity testing, we get the calls, okay. And people are usually they're price shopping or they're asking, or they have a very specific situation that they want to handle in, oh, I don't know if the kid's mine. I'm trying to get child custody, or I'm trying to get off of child support, or I just want to know, or this crazy stuff happened in this situation. And the difference is between the paternity testing and cleaning is that they want to speak to somebody first. They want to talk to somebody because they feel as though, sometimes they're the only person in the world that is going through this, and they want to talk to somebody and get that reassurance. That's why I named my business Assurance DNA. But they want to speak to somebody. So like I've tried the whole do this booking form thing. It doesn't work for us. They want to speak to somebody because they've called other DNA testing companies in the area and they either don't answer their phone or they're just rude, and like I said, that's another thing too, is
just pick up the phone. That's half the battle.
Answer our phone.
People don't realize, man, that's half the battle. And like I say, I'm out here in Dallas. I'm fortunate enough to know a couple cleaning companies. You got the Hartzalls. It's a couple of people that's in the group, that's benefited these groups and these communities, right? If I can't take the job, I don't know if Anthony ended up booked it, but I couldn't take a move out clean the other day because all my cleaners was on bookings. Yeah. So I just hey, let me shoot you this number. Hey, I don't mind that. Yeah. Somebody always gonna need their home clean, and with COVID going on, that skyrocket things, and it's just so many routes. Somebody always gonna need their home clean. There's only so many cleaners to go around. So just because another cleaning company is very successful, if they only got 10 cleaners, they're going to take so many jobs, right? Absolutely. So it's still going to be work for me out there. Yeah. And my experience that I provide you ain't the same as the next person's. A lot of people don't understand that. Yesterday or 2 days ago, a state representative calls me out of nowhere. I'm over here on calls, orientations, but I'm trying to book this lady, reassure her, because sometimes people get on there, you may have to have this is the longest conversation I've ever had. Went probably a 10-minute session and a 15-minute session, because she didn't know what she wanted. I offer hourly cleaning services as well, just to cater to certain people, and that's just, it ain't the greatest money. I mean, I do charge $50 an hour, minimum 2 hours or whatever, just so it makes sense to my cleaners to go out there, and it don't cost me nothing to send out on a job. I mean, not too many people use that package, because once you get so high in hours, it makes sense just to get the regular, But the thing with that is just a 15-minute conversation, me reassuring her and just being open to accommodating her. Because at the end of the day, you a service-based business. That's your job, is to, when you get on these calls of customers, have a little bit of my situation is the same as the DNA. That's a whole, you definitely need empathy for that. But some of these people just are trying to find the right person to clean their homes. They may have somebody in the past that didn't work out, and they just want to ask you a couple questions. Don't be all annoyed about it, because this is potential business for you. So, I mean, this lady calls me. I found out after the call she had a state representative in Texas. I didn't even know. But
and that can open you up to a lot of things. And the referrals from that can be insane.
Well, that's my thing. Customers. So I plan on implementing that soon enough, where I do a referral where I give a customer $25 off. They refer somebody to me and they give me their name. I just got to figure out how to do that without paying for the service on Launch 27. I'll figure out how to do that on back end on my own. But
so with coordination, like how you say you're a middleman, right? So the same thing is with paternity testing. We've had, I believe, about 15 clients this year so far for paternity in our business for paternity testing. We've only maybe seen 3 of them.
Coordination. Let me tell you something, man. Coordination for y'all is probably a lot more to it than me, because you got to contact a couple different pieces to get the job done. Me, after I get the booking, I only got to contact one person.
You only got to contact one person,
and that's because I'm really this anal about it. So I've only met one of my cleaners. I have 2. I haven't even met the other cleaner.
Okay,
I don't know who's better. I can't say. I've gotten reviews for the other one that I've never met. I haven't got reviews for the other lady. I've gotten one, but it's like, they both get the job done, right? I don't get any complaints. I've met the first one just because that was my first booking. So I went to the house because I wanted to meet the owner, try to, you first one. You try to, so I went out there to the house, met the cleaner, had a conversation with her. But all my stuff is on the phone. The whole phone interview on the phone. I don't do test cleans like I should. I have a little bit of faith in it based on the experience. I require a certain minimum level of experience, but the 2 ladies I have been cleaning over 10 years. So I didn't feel the need to have them go do a test clean. If it's somebody different, I may have them go through that process. And I'll just have them come to my house or something.
Can you imagine when you eventually hire a virtual assistant to take care of the incoming calls?
You won't have to do, it's honestly kind of scary, bro, because once you have that capacity to bring another person on to take the calls, that's the bulk of the business.
I had a small taste of that yesterday. So I had my notifications off at work. I'm in a meeting at work or whatever, right? And so my wife I have a cell phone that my wife has at home. She's staying at home at the moment. So she just texts me. She's like, "Hey, this client is doing a prenatal test on Monday." I'm like, "Okay, bet." I had my notifications off, but my notifications are on for her. So I check my email and it's like, so-and-so has paid you $1,483. It was like, and I didn't even know. I was like, I just made, and then that's my gross. So my gross is $1,483. My net's going to be $456 after the testing fees and stuff like that for a pregnancy paternity test. But all I literally did was have to set up Google Ads. I taught my wife how to answer the phone and how to do invoicing and payments. She's essentially a virtual assistant / salesperson for this. And it's just a small taste of in the future when she eventually gets back to work, and I hire a virtual assistant and the leads come in, they handle invoicing and payments, and we do some form of coordination. Now, my coordination is simply calling the collection facility. If it's out here in El Paso, I call them, "Hey, this person wants to do this test," or I just email them, "Hey, this person wants to do this test on this day, on this time, yada, yada, yada." And that's kind of pretty much it. I go in the DNA testing for laboratory portal. I set up the case number. That's it. That's all we do. And they handle the rest, especially if it's a pregnancy paternity test, because in pregnancy paternity tests, we can't draw blood because we're not licensed phlebotomists. A phlebotomist is somebody who's licensed to draw blood. We can't do it, but we can coordinate it, and people still trust us to administer the entire process. So we're making $1,400, $1,700 a pop on those for that, and that's just that coordinate. That's that middlemaning. But while you are a middleman, you have to be attentive to your client and communicative. Like you got to speak to them,
especially when you're starting out, because this is like the life force of your, like, keeping you going. Because you're starting out, you're not generating, y'all are so quick to hear the people that talk about, I'm generating 50K a month or whatever. Yeah. Well, when you start, everybody started at some point. I think Anthony and Januka said they didn't hit like a 4-figure month for a while or whatever. Yeah. And now they got a whole business that's about to hit 7 figures. So you have to understand, like, in the beginning, you always gonna put in more work. Yeah. But it's like, what does that work look like? And where is your end goal at? For me, I'm trying to build this up to where I could systemize everything out, and eventually I could sell this and be done.
Well, there you go. And that's another thing right there. Same. I am building this company to sell it eventually, to have an exit. Exactly. There's nothing wrong with having a cash flow business. If you want to have that for your lifestyle, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm building this up to eventually sell this for a few $1 million at the very least, at least a 3x multiple of my revenue.
Bro, I'm in the same boat. Like, I'm not trying, like, don't get me wrong. It's all like, entrepreneurship is cool or whatever. It's the cool thing to do. Right. Everybody swear on Instagram and Twitter, it's the cool thing to do. Man, look, we in this business to get paid at the end of the day. I'm trying to do this so I can set up and go buy me some property somewhere that's making me money. Yes. And I can hire me some property managers and they can handle all the headaches. And I can just wake up every day and do what the hell I want to do. You buy your dividend stocks.
You feel me? You do some staking in some crypto, and then you go to Bora Bora and be chilling with your wife.
People try to make this so complicated. And don't get me wrong, it's simple, but it ain't easy. Yeah. Right. So a lot of people will see it and like, oh, well, you out here doing this now. And it's like, but I mean, only difference between me and you is I just went ahead and took some action and got started when I got the course.
That's a lot of my students. The ones that are successful are the ones that take action. And
I get DMs about the cleaning business all the time. It's like, bro, just go. Like, I'm telling you, just go buy the course. Yep. Literally, it's. I don't, like I say, I've never taken a course. So I don't know, but I'll put it like this for the Harzogs, because this is probably the best course I've taken. Mm-hmm. They literally step by step walk you through the whole entire process from A to Z. They even have section for marketing and all that. Yeah. So you can't say you lost or don't know what to really do. I mean, yes, it might be a couple things here. They give you the contracts. They literally give you contracts they don't pay for to get the contractor agreements, all this. Like, you don't have to think about nothing. Yeah. All you got to do is be willing to pick up a phone and go fill out stuff online.
Same thing with my course.
You talk about.
It's dope because my students, I call it Paternity University. I think there's this cleaning business university, if I'm not mistaken, right? I call them my students who eventually basically get rolling and don't need to ask me no questions no more. They're graduates and they go off and they be doing their own thing. I'll hit them up. Hey man, damn, you haven't been active in the Slack channel. Oh yeah, man, I did like $5,000 this month. Oh wow, all right, cool. Based off the information that I provided, the blueprint. But on your point, you said a few minutes ago about starting off and it takes some time to get that ball rolling. Like you said, it took Anthony, like it took them a while to get to their first 4-figure month, but now they're about to do 7 figures total in their business. But like I said, it took me from December 2020 to September. I only made 4 figures total, but from September 2021 until December 2021, I made 17,000. But check this out, right? So I'll be honest, like I said, I made 5 figures all of 2021. I have made more than I've made 60% of the money that I made in 2021 as of today. Like from January 2022 to March 12th, 2022.
Well, see, that's
I made more than half of that money. Just sticking to it.
That's the thing though. Like a lot of people would have seen, the first few months I wasn't all that. I'm done with this.
I'm done. Yeah.
And you don't realize you might be right on the cusp of breaking in and figuring something out that takes your business to a whole nother level. So that's why I tell people, like, it's a difference between understanding where you got to just push through something and where you got to pivot. Like for me, the Turo thing, don't get me wrong, I probably could have pushed through and went and got me a few 3-4 cars and been fine. Me, I didn't want that on me. The cleaning business it's a lot of ease of peace of mind for me.
Mm,
Like, yeah, it sucks if you're not getting bookings when you first start, right? But if that's your only worry, marketing can always help with finding a
yeah,
client.
yeah. I'm not gonna lie, man. I have been very tempted in some of those months when I wasn't making much. Well, I was like, man, that notary thing sounds so good, or man, flipping medical supplies or cleaning business. That sounds, but I'm like, no, man, I got something because
And don't get me wrong, like I think the reason I like this business so much is because eventually I can have somebody take away all the headache and I
yeah,
can kind of do the notary because I do have my notary license. I just don't
yeah,
really utilize it because I'm focused on other stuff. And I got the IA thing going for my day job. Because at the end of the day, me, I'm always think get you a day job and
yeah,
make you some
yeah,
money
yeah,
and use that money to funnel the lifestyle you like to create the lifestyle you want. Like a lot of people say,
facts.
you got to go get out the mud and start your business. You ain't got to do it that way. It's multiple ways to get this the
Mhm.
generational wealth everybody say they and claim they want. You just got to be willing to put in some work.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I took an IA job. I make a little bit more than what I was making. I work a little bit more, but
Mhm.
I work it from home. I got freedom to, do multiple things when I'm at home when I'm working,
Mhm.
compared to being in the office where 9 to 10, it's just you just there. We was talking
Mhm.
about that. Like a lot of people don't realize like that in office thing sounds cool until you realize 70% of your day you're not doing nothing productive, right?
Yeah.
And for me, I never had the ambition to want to go work and be the highest in the company because I'm like, for what when I can go do that with my own thing,
Yeah.
right? Like if I could go dedicate 100% of my time into something I'm doing, I could do the same thing that they're doing over here.
Yeah.
Take a little longer, but I'd rather do it. That's me personally. Like that ain't for everybody. Some people enjoy what they do at work, or they make a lot of money. Like if you're in tech or something like that. I was in management, fortunate enough to make some good money. I jumped to the IA thing, work a little harder, but like I say, I ain't afraid of work. And at the same time, working from home, it just yields you a different opportunity. And I save money on gas, especially with
Save
gas
money
prices
on,
where they are
especially
right
now.
now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man,
Yeah, 100. I 100% now. Granted, I'm in the army, so there ain't no options for me to work at home.
yeah.
But like I said, I'm not trying to resign or put in a resignation from the army and leave the army and leave behind my benefits and my steady first and 15 paycheck that comes no matter what to try to run Assurance DNA
Yep.
full time when that thing is unpredictable. It's a steady uptick, but it's some down days from time to time
Exactly, bro.
and
And
some down months. So it's like I don't want to. I got a whole mortgage. We're gonna be starting a family. I don't have time. I got, you still keep that day job until the profits, not just the revenues, but the profits from the business considerably exceed your day job income. And then if you choose to leave, you can choose to leave. But until then, I got a solid good career going, and I'm gonna keep on with that.
exactly. And the crazy thing is, like, there's so many possibilities to this cleaning business, right? And you can't look at what I like to say. You don't need to look at what the next person is doing, but I kind
Yeah.
of use that as a gauge for myself, almost just because I'm competitive. But I'm really just trying to compete with the previous month, right? So I'm in a community. It's a lady out here in Dallas that started this around the same time I did. She went a different route. She started on the Google, and she did like 7,000 her first month.
Crazy.
So it's like you just gotta find your lane,
Yeah.
understand your pricing, your competitiveness. Also, you kind of based off like I like to let my like your cleaners what their availability is, right?
Yeah.
Like I get a lot of last second bookings, so sometimes I can't take those jobs, but I know it's there now, right? Because that's the first thing that people got to see when they get started is like, does this really work? Is this for real? Like
Yeah.
when I got that first booking, I couldn't believe it. I had to drive to the house just to I was like, ain't no way. But
Yeah.
that's
Like, yeah,
just
this is a real thing. Yeah.
exactly. And it's like I didn't do and it's because I didn't do nothing. I'm like, I don't have to clean this house. I didn't do nothing but answer a phone call. Some of these people, I don't even answer a call. They just hit me up on Yelp. That first person was
Mhm.
somebody off of Yelp. It wasn't even Google. I hadn't been on Google yet. They just messaged me on Yelp. I responded. I sent them, they gave me the email. I sent them booking, boom, it's done.
Key thing is you responded. Like we say, you answer the phone, you respond. That, and like on knowing your lane and even pivoting. Um, I, like I said, with customer service answering your phone, but even within my business, I pivoted a little bit. So I realized there was a demand for a very specific type of paternity test out here in my area specifically. Like I say, that is the prenatal paternity test. That is when the woman is pregnant and wants to know who the father is. That's most of the calls I get. I get those calls, and the profit margin is a little bit slimmer, but the demand for it is extremely high, and the revenue potential is extremely high for it. Like I said, I charge between 14. So I pivoted just a little bit in my marketing more towards that. And then I did some research, and I found out that I'm pretty much the only company actively marketing this specific type of test within a 600-mile radius. Like,
so when they searching for that, you the first person they're gonna see.
I'm the first person that pretty much comes up. There's another company that does it, that I actually send them there to get their blood drawn. They don't really advertise it that much. They don't. You know what I'm saying? They advertise the other stuff that they do, but and the other companies around, they don't even offer that at all. They don't. So I'm pretty much the only company in a city or by city area of about 800,000 people that offer that, with 10,000 babies born in the past year. All right. Even if 10%, if oh my gosh, if 10% of people want a prenatal paternity test and go through it, of that 10,000 babies that were born, I literally will be a millionaire. And it's just,
that's crazy.
it's now just,
and that's crazy.
I had to pivot
about
that though. I had to pivot that.
And you mentioned something, right? Every business you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to do some type of research. Like for me on the cleaning business, I'm gonna have to go look at everybody's prices because I need to be competitive with their prices. Me, I'm a little bit like, I want to undercut some of these prices, but I don't want to undercut it to the fact that, you know, it don't make sense for me, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you still want to make some money, but you just have to go and do a little bit of research. Like I look at people's websites still to this day right now, just to get gauges on stuff and see if they might have tweaked their pricing, just make sure my pricing is aligned. Maybe I want to offer a little bit more for services. Like when I started off, right, I made my deep, like you got two cleans really, standard and deep, and then you got to move out clean. I made my deep clean package a little bit more enticing right now, and I'm gonna change that probably next month. But just because I'm starting out, you know, we offer, you know, cleaning extra stuff compared to every other company, right? And I got that idea from another cleaning business he's in Memphis, and Alex also, I seen he does the same thing. So I was like, okay, let me try this out and just see how it goes. And I mean, it still aligns with my cleaners because they just thinking of for my cleaners, they're not thinking of a job pay. They're thinking of how much am I gonna make an hour when I go do this job based on the size. They know how much time it's gonna take them to do it. So as long as the numbers make sense to them, they cool, they want the job. And that's another thing you got to understand, because I had a cleaner straight up hit me like, hey, this cleaner doesn't make sense for me because the pay based on, like, if you break it down how many hours it's gonna take me to do and all of that, the money don't make sense for me to take this job. And that was like a reality check, because you come in thinking like anything you send them, they just gonna go do. And that also made me reevaluate the fact that I was dropping prices like I was when I was on Thumbtack. So I went back to my original price, and I was very competitive. And now they don't tell me like, no, I can't go do this. Even the small jobs, like the hourly cleaners I have. Like I had two people that requested hourly cleaners yesterday. One was like 2 hours, one was like 3 or 4, right? They're not turning that down because that's still $30 an hour for them. That's unheard of for a cleaner, really, if you think about it. And you talk about a couple hours out your day and you make, you know, you good. So a lot of people, they don't think that way, right? You think about just the me aspect of things, but you got to think about the big picture also. That's why I told you, especially if you're employing people to go do jobs. For you, it's a little bit better for you because you don't have to worry about dealing with like actual employees per se.
I don't have any employees at the moment. I mean, for example, I had a DNA test where the child and the mother were here in El Paso, but the alleged father was in Sacramento, California. I literally just go into a portal or Google, or I go into the lab's portal first, and I can find collectors out there that know how to do collections, and I just contact them and be like, hey, can you do this? Yeah, sure. What's your fee? It's X. Okay. That's it. Like, I don't have any employees. I don't have to go try to hire somebody in Sacramento real quick that wants a DNA test tomorrow. Like, I don't have to do that. So, I mean, at the moment now, you know, when I leave El Paso, the Army says, hey man, you're going to go to Hawaii next, or Seattle, or wherever they send me. Now I will have to eventually have either a virtual assistant or some kind of collector there to be able to, you know, collect DNA samples. But honestly, if it's mostly those prenatals, man, I'm gonna stick with the strategy that I have now, where I just send them to a collection facility, and they all they want is $25 to collect blood. That's it, and swab the alleged father. That's all, man. I'm like, I'll stick with that. Just that coordination. So I love it because there's similarities and differences between these two businesses, but ultimately the end goal is to scale it and sell it. That's the end goal between both of us, which is, by the way, would you ever be looking, do they teach about commercial cleaning?
No, but I'm gonna go to commercial cleaning next year. So this first year is me figuring everything out. And it's ironic enough, right? I had somebody on my podcast way when I first got started. I got Terrence. He does commercial cleaning.
Okay.
Only commercial cleaning. He started off actually doing it himself and branched out to where he got a full-fledged business making a killing. And he primarily focuses on getting contracts and stuff.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
I think like government, some kind of contracts they get with the cleaning. So he does like high rises and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I plan on branching out, reaching out to him because I'm gonna learn that aspect because I've been reached out about that. I don't really know how to price that. I also don't have a capacity, I don't think, to take that on right now.
No, not right now.
So I was gonna just try to figure it out, but at the end of the day, I realized like I don't even know what I'm getting myself into because you start talking about somebody having to be out there three days a week, maybe 5 days a week. So it's like a legit job now. So you need a whole team, especially start doing certain buildings. So I kind of I plan on expanding to another city after a year and branching into commercial. And that's my plan right now. That's where I'm angling myself because I want to be all over. Yeah. And I see it's very possible to do. You don't have to just stay in whatever city you start in. I see like you can scale this as long as you can find the cleaners, you can scale this thing up because at the end of the day, like now that I'm seeing that marketing thing is literally just like you turn on a faucet.
Yep.
Just the more money you put in, the more you're gonna get out.
Yep.
And the more people you get in front of, the more people you have the opportunity to close on. I mean, it's just a numbers game.
Exactly it.
You're just playing percentages, people. Like
that's exactly
just get it in front of as many people as you possibly can.
Yep.
And the rest will handle itself as long. And I mean, yeah, you'll have to answer phones to start off, but once you get some other people involved and helping you out.
And when you answer the phone, don't just answer the phone and be like, hello.
Yeah, I hit them with the, good morning. It's made it feel like I'd be going, I don't know. I just, like I say, man, we all know how to talk to people.
Facts. Absolutely.
Whether we want to do it that way or not, that's on us. But then they, it don't take nothing to be like, good morning, it's Made It Clean Pro. How you doing? What can I help you with? It don't take much. Yeah. You talk about an extra sentence here. Like besides you saying you waking up like I said, like hello. Like, don't nobody want to hear that. They calling a cup, they expected something.
That caught me off guard. I've called her. Like I said, I did my initial research when I got to El Paso, and I called again. And I'm calling some of these companies, some of these people that do DNA testing. And I called this one person up, and he was just like, "Hello," and I was like, "Hey," I was like, "Damn, all right." And I was like, "Hey, do you offer this?" He was like, "No," and I was like, "Okay, well." Oh, all right. And he was like,
people don't want to deal with you. And it's crazy because like I'll even use a lady I just talked to the other day. I truly think she just gave me a shot and she gonna try me out for recurring, she says. And I mean, if she don't, it ain't that big a deal.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I truly believe she gave me a shot just because of my customer service. Like she heard my price of the actual, what she wanted for her actual home. She just wanted to see what it would cost. And she was like, I don't think I can handle that. But she was all right to be like, well, what do you have anything that you can, like, I need this done. Do you have something that can fit this? And I'm like, matter of fact, I do, because I got an hourly cleaning. And I only did that on a whim, honestly, because I was like, maybe I could take some smaller jobs here and there to supplement, fill up my people's schedules, just so I get them some consistent work, because they still want to make, some money. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I do have this. I offer this, and even though I was like, I require usually 24-hour notice, this was like a quick turnover, but I was able to hit up a couple of my cleaners. They didn't have nothing going on the next day. And I was like, okay, so this is my situation. I can help you out right now. We can do it next week. And because I was willing to go above and beyond for a customer, we talk about 15 minutes, people, out of my day.
Yep.
I mean, if you can make, I made what? If you make $70 or so, just 15 minutes of your time, I'm pretty sure you're gonna do it.
Not bad.
I mean, and I don't have to do nothing else. All I gotta do is, and I love my booking platform because it's simple. My cleaners go in there, they put their availability. Most of them, my cleaners, luckily, they don't care. Like, they have availability, but if I give them something outside of that, more than likely they're gonna do it if the money makes sense. So they go in there, put their schedule. I see that. I got 4 different time slots, 2-hour arrival windows.
Right.
Right. A person goes online, a book, they pick whatever raw one they want, what kind of cleaner they want. And now from there, all I gotta do is match a cleaner with the job. I send the email out to the teams, because that's what I label them as teams. My 2 cleaners get those jobs, what they got for the week. It might be something they got for the next day. And I'm usually texting them too. I mean, I know that's one thing, they're a little busy because they don't just work for me. You gotta understand, when you're working with cleaners that are contractors, they ain't just working for you. They may be working for most people. Some of my cleaners, they might hit me up like, oh, you got anything? I might have something.
Yeah.
I may find something right after I get off of a text with them. Be like, hey, can you do this tomorrow? And I hit them up real quick. They respond to me. They get the job, and boom. Yeah. It's just that simple. And all it took was an extra text message or something. I don't really have to get on the phone and talk to nobody. I'm real simple. Like my cleaners, I make it real easy for them. You just check an email. If you know how to work a computer, you can come work for me.
Yeah, it's that simple. Yeah.
And really, you don't even know how to work a computer. You know how to do this.
Yeah.
This phone right here, this iPhone, whatever you got. If you can get on the internet on there, you good.
Easy. I love it, man. I love that it's systemized. I love that you went and you realized that Turo was something that wasn't going to work for you, specifically for you.
And that's not to say it won't work for nobody else, people.
Right, yeah, but specifically for you, it wasn't going to work. You saw an opportunity with the market and you said, I'm going to take some of that money, and get this course, man, from the Hartzogs that lay out exactly how to do it instead of you trying to start it and figure everything out on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you would have been stuck on the website still. And you're already up and running, and you got it systemized, man. Like that's really dope. You know what I'm saying?
And next is putting this stuff on paper so I can have it like step by step. That's my next thing. I just need to find me some time. Like I got the system down to pack, but I'm trying to make it add on to where I got like
you know what? I can do you a favor. If you'd like, I can send you there's an app / software as a service called Notion.
I've been hearing about that. I need to check that out.
I can send you a template that I made so far for my future virtual assistant or my future collector. And it's super easy. You can have your SOPs in there pretty much. You can even make video and put it in there so that, somebody in the future.
I've been hearing about that. So I'm gonna need to definitely check that out there. Cause I plan on looking into some of the stuff like sometime during the week when I'm not doing the IA stuff.
Not doing the IA stuff. Yeah. I like it, man. I like how you try different things, crypto, stocks, you're doing Turo. Now, you tried it and then you're honing in on that thing that works for you. That's what
that's what a lot of people, they want to do. Like, and I was that person, right? I was trying to do everything at once. I was trying to, and then you realize you spread yourself so thin that you can't really function. You can't maximize nothing or scale it. Yeah. So for me, I'm just like, this is kind of where I plan on staying at in my lane, right? Like the IA work is the day job. Yep. Cleaning business is what I'm planning on scaling. And then, stocks, crypto, real estate, that's passive. Like I don't do nothing where it's active. Like I'm a private money lender. I have a guy out here who does occasionally I'll lend him money. I might send him some business and he pays a referral fee. I got one of my boys, D'Angelo. Shout out Elo, man. I had him on the podcast a while back. He's a mentee of Him 500. He sells trade lines. Okay, well, take my card. I got a good card, so I make money every 3 months off of that. Yeah, he got my cards maxed out all my slots.
That's what it's all about. Man. You turn the active into passive. You know what I'm saying?
Like, it's ways to get money out here. Like, I don't care about splitting some 50-50 with him if he can go find all the people. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I could go do it on my own and find people make all the money, but I like getting a text saying, hey, go add this authorized user and I'll send your money. Yeah. Boom. In 3 months, it's rinse and repeat.
I love the fact that we are not really in sexy businesses. It's not like I tweeted the other day, it's not an IG boutique or some flashy e-commerce.
Yeah, I ain't out here doing the Facebook ads making, 30 grand a day.
It's needed service businesses. Things that will always.
But these are always somebody gonna always need these.
Always
things,
need
right?
it. They will always, or they will always want to outsource that task to somebody like you because they don't want to clean their own. I don't want to do a deep clean in my house every twice a month.
That was why I really liked it. I'm like, this will never, like, people gonna always want their homes clean. Always. And then you get fortunate enough where you start getting those people because you do a good enough job. Okay, I want to do recurring cleaners with you. Mm-hmm. So once you get the recurring revenue up, Not anything else you get is just icing on the cake.
Yep, absolutely.
If I can scale up my recurring business to my 10K a month goal, right?
Yep.
I ain't gotta worry. Like I'm good. Like everything else is just like a new goal I'll set for myself.
Absolutely.
That's what people don't understand. Like
absolutely.
And then
I love
not
it,
to
man.
mention,
Yeah, same. Like I said, same. That's why I said there's similarities, man. Like paternity testing is not a sexy hot. You know, it's not something you see that's super flashy, but it's needed. People want and need paternity tests. They're always going to be making babies. As far as I'm concerned, people are always going to be making babies. All right, or having children, and they're always going to. I'm sorry,
exactly.
They're not always going to have doubts, but some are going to have doubts, or some are going to need to get a paternity test for a specific legal reason. And as long as I'm the person that they see first when they start researching, I get in front of those eyeballs. I essentially can provide that service and help people find the answers and make money at the same time. It's a need, and I have, like I said, the software aspect of it and the course aspect of it.
What's crazier for you, right? Like these type of businesses, you're not limited to just where you live.
Exactly.
That's another reason I like them, right? You could do this, like you could be here in Texas, but be handling some stuff out wherever. Like eventually I'm gonna expand to where I'll be in Dallas, but I'm gonna have a company over in Houston. And all I gotta do is, hey, they coordinate their own stuff.
Yep.
So that's why I
have a location. I have a presence in Dallas as well. I get calls from Dallas, and
but that's what I'm
Dallas
saying.
Test this week. Yeah, absolutely.
Like, that's the type of stuff I like.
What's up?
No, that's the type of stuff I like, right? Like being able to, you're not restricted, right? If I wanted to go travel somewhere right now and go out of town somewhere, I can still run the business. I'm not limited to having to be right where I'm at to do this.
I was on my honeymoon in the Bahamas in October, and we did a prenatal paternity test for a woman in like New Jersey or something like that. And that was literally just answering a phone call, sending an email, $1,700 right there. Boom. You know,
if y'all don't get nothing from this,
if
you do any type of business where you are, got to get calls, I promise you will be successful if you just answer the phone.
Answer the phone.
If you just pick up the phone and be personable with the person, have some good customer service, which everybody knows how to do. Because most of us, when we was in high school, we had some kind of customer service job where we was at a store working or wherever. Like you dealt with people before. You may not want to, but at the end of the day, look at the end goal. You ain't gonna have to do that forever. So if you start these businesses, just be willing to pick up the phone. Be willing to spend money on marketing. I will definitely say that. Like the cleaning business, don't get me wrong, you can get the cleaning business started probably for $500 to $1,000. Me personally, I would say have like $2,000 set aside, right? So you could at least start putting money in the marketing. Even if that look like, for me, I do 500 something a month on Google right now, and I bumped that up. Like I was gonna do whatever, but I'm like, nah, this is like, as soon as I started, it worked, and I was doing with a little bit of money. So I put 500 on there now. I have like $450 a month on Yelp, and I'm gonna just see which one works better with that, and then I'm gonna start chipping off money from one going to the other. For me, I'll cap out maybe, I don't know. It depends.
And that's the thing. Another thing too is let's just imagine you yourself are you are going down Google, you're on Google Maps or you're on Google search, and you're going down the list and you're just calling people, right? And you're calling people, you're trying to find a landscaper. Let's just say you are, and you're calling, and some people don't answer the phone. Some people answer the phone and their prices are not what you want, or they just don't sound professional. And then you have that one that answers the phone. Most likely you're going to go with them. But also think about this too. You're going down this list of calls. You're not going to remember every single company that you called. You're probably not off the top of your head immediately. You know what I'm saying? All the people that you called. So, but you're going to remember that person that answered the phone is like, hi, thank you for calling so-and-so.
Exactly.
So how can I help you? You're like, oh, wow, that was great. You're going to remember them. Most likely,
and I'm
going to save their number and call them in the future. Most likely.
I'll take it a step further, right? Like for me, Grasshopper lets you text these people. I'm crazy. I don't overdo it, but after I get off the phone with you, I'm sending a text. Like it don't take me no time to send it. And what you can do, make you a note with a template. So all you gotta do is copy and paste.
Yeah, copy and paste.
It don't take much, man. Like I'll send a text message, and all I gotta do is add hello and their name to make it a little bit more like you address somebody's name when you're talking to these customers, right? When you send that follow-up text, because most of these people call you off their cell phone, right? So they gonna get the text.
They're gonna get a text. but also, like I said, even if they remembered you and they're like, man, who was that? I forgot the name of their business or their phone number, because they called a bunch of phone numbers down the line. They get that text from you or that email that's like, hey, thank you for calling so-and-so. If you ever need us, yada, yada, yada. They're going to remember that as opposed to, somebody else.
And that's why I like my booking platform as well, right? After cleaning, the booking platform sends out a reminder like, oh, what you rate us, how did you enjoy your cleaning? Yeah. And, just little things like that. Like, you might not get response from everybody, but even if you get response from, 5%, hey, you don't know what that 5% could turn into. Like, I can't tell you how many times I sent a text out. I usually send a text out after I get off the phone with them, letting them know, like, hey, the email should be there. Maybe you need to check your spam box, etc. You can book in, 60 seconds. Boom. And then sometimes I don't see a booking that day. I may follow up the next day and just wanted to see. I didn't see your booking. I know you mentioned you wanted the service. And they might have just forgot. Simply just forgot.
Sometimes they forget.
They get busy. I've gotten a couple bookings just like that because, oh shoot, I forgot. Let me go do this right now.
Yep.
So it's money in these follow-ups as well. That's just what I'm trying to get at. Like, don't be afraid to follow. I'm not saying hit them up every hour, but be open to just send a simple text and then a text the following day, or maybe 2 days later, or maybe even a week later. However, whatever frequency you want to do.
Yeah.
Just be open to following up with customers, because a lot of times we all have lives. We all get busy, especially if you're in the cleaning business. Most of these people that's looking for services is because they're so busy that they can't do it themselves. Otherwise, they wouldn't be calling you. They might have kids, all that they're dealing with. So just a quick follow-up, they might have been dealing with their kids, running all over the house. And didn't have a chance, and they forgot completely about it.
If they get that text from you, or they get something from you, and it has your phone number, or
everybody is on this thing, man. Everybody is on a phone. So I promise, if you just follow up with most of these people via text, you'll probably get a better response. Like, I know people swear by the email marketing thing.
Yeah, a lot of people don't check their emails.
Most people are gonna check their phone because they're always on it.
Yeah, they're gonna check their text.
Like, I've had people that was
man. Those reviews are critical. So I currently have 9 reviews on my business, and I'm obviously seeking to get more. But literally, we had a client who paid for a prenatal test, all in full, $1,400, solely off the fact that she said she'd been doing the research for a while, solely off the fact that we had all 5-star reviews, and we answered the phone.
I'm so happy you said that. That was the main reason that lady called me. First thing she said is, I was going through, but I seen all your reviews, and I was like, let me give him a call. I'm not I might not have the most going on out of the next person, but I got maybe like 15 reviews. And don't make this hard, people, right? So you can get your friends to get your review. Some people might get your review off of just your customer service alone. It ain't got to be because you even did a job with them, right?
Yeah.
So it might have just been because they was pleased. They had talked to about 3 assholes on the phone, and then they call you, and you were just pleasant. And that's the difference maker. They might not even do business with you, but that little bit of you just having a care about how you present, how your business comes out to people.
My word
change
of reviews is
everything.
It's funny. My word of reviews is different because people usually end up creating a different Google profile in my world. They'll be having their name out there when they want to.
Oh, I ain't thinking, because you don't want nobody in your business.
I said it like, I don't want to really. I'm like, you can create a different Google profile and still leave a review. It helps people find us, and they do sometimes. Especially, I'm telling you, man, my wife is amazing with empathy and customer service. I'm good with strategy and marketing.
Well, that's how I don't like dealing with. Like, don't get me wrong, people. I do not want to deal with the customer. I don't. I promise you, I don't. I'm good at the person that's planning out the stuff, figuring stuff out. Like, that's what people hit me up for. My boys that got down stuff going, they hit me up because I'm an operations type of guy. Like, that's like, I be thinking about how to grow shit, or how to grow things and make the business run more efficiently. That's where I like to think about. I don't really want to deal with the customers and stuff like that, but you do what you got to do.
You do what you have to do in the beginning. And the thing is, that's how you figure it out in the beginning, so that you can create your SOPs and say, this is how I want you to talk to somebody. Like,
and that's something that's important.
Whenever I hire a virtual assistant, I'm like, look, you need to speak to these people with empathy and understanding. Don't be too salesy. Like, I admit, I have times when my wife sometimes will witness me answer a call, and I'll be a little bit too salesy. Meanwhile, she's like, oh, I understand. We can get you through this, but this is the price, and this is how we can. And they be booking with her, man. They be paying. Like,
honestly, this is like, I hate this. I don't like to generalize, man, but customer service is like completely made for women. Like they good at empathizing with
Yeah,
people.
yeah. I was gonna say it too.
Like I
especially
don't mean to
especially my business.
generalize. I don't want to do all that, but I just see
Man,
women that be on the phone, man, and they just good at working with people.
so good at, and like I said, my wife is she has her master's in clinical psychology, so she's going to be a therapist. A mental
Oh, that's
health
perfect
coach.
then. Yeah, that's
She knows
perfect.
how to talk to. That's her thing. You know, she is way better at it than and I don't get mad though when she tells me, "Hey, you sound a little too salesy on that one." I'm like, "Dang, you're right. That's why you answer most of the calls."
Matter of fact, that's another reason I like Google. Right, Google local services. Anybody that calls you through there, they record the call. So you can always go back and listen to the like the initial conversation at least. So that's why I say also make sure you pick up, because originally I wasn't picking up the phone because I would be doing something else and I call back. But now I want to answer on the initial call just so I can see and go back and listen in on how that convo went. And that could be the difference. Maybe I was just not feeling it that day and I might have answered the phone on some like unpleasant things. So it's just good to be able to, also you want that because when you go back, when you hire somebody, you go back.
Yeah, you want to train them on.
You want to be able to coach them.
Google, I need to hit up Google. I know they're a multi-trillion-dollar company.
Yeah, I'm about to look at the other side of things, but right now, local services, I can't lie, man. That might be where I start. I'm contemplating pushing more money and just taking off Yelp immediately. But Yelp gave me this promo. That's really the only reason I'm still rocking with it, because they take reviews down like nothing. They don't mess with, like, I don't know what they process the algorithm is for keeping a review up, but man. Meanwhile, I definitely say to get those reviews. Like a lot of people don't think about, but reviews run everything, even podcast world, right? Like, matter of fact, y'all like this podcast, man? Leave me a 5-star review. I see y'all tuning in, but I don't see no reviews. I get about 100 of y'all an episode faithfully, sometimes more. So hey, just leave me a review.
The reviews actually help your SEO with Google. Like they literally like, and I mean, even you as a customer of something in the future, when you Google something, you want to see.
But that's what I'm about to say, right? When I look for stuff, that's the first thing I'm going to. If I don't see no reviews for you, I'm not even contemplating you. And so that's something I say, like, you can have your friends, local services or whatever. You could just send them like, hey, can you leave me a review? Either they're going to do it or they not. And at the end of the day, a few reviews, I only got like, I got like 13 of them things, man. Yeah. But that's all it take, right? Especially if they all good reviews.
My mom owns her own DNA testing company. That's where I got my inspiration from it. And
I got 15 reviews on 15
Google. Reviews. Yeah.
And that gets people calling you though. Like that's
it does.
Even if you got 5.
Yeah.
If they all, as long as it's not something that's bashing the business, as long as it's not negative, I promise you'll be fine.
I got 9 5-star reviews, man. 9.
And respond to these reviews, right? Like they give you the option to like respond to them. That lets people know like you actually care about what's going on. Like it don't take no time. I mean, you can just thank them for the review. You ain't got to go into no crazy.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. We love to have helped you and help you find the answers.
And you know what you can do with that? You can go put that in the template, copy and paste on that too. It's that simple, man. Like
I put it on my website too. On my website, I have a plugin.
Yep, I don't have plugins because I didn't want to pay for that, but I was able to put 2. I was able to put like a couple on there, and that's all I need. Like just a couple of reviews I've gotten, and just stick them on the website. So when people go to your website, now they see that as well on the website.
Yeah, man. Exactly. Yeah. See, similarities, man. I love it, and I want to. You know, even I might on my own, I have a YouTube channel where I interview my students and stuff like that when they make their first. Sure. But I might want to interview, bring you onto mine or interview a couple of those notary guys.
Just hit me up, man, because at the end of the day, I try my hand at a little bit of everything. But I mean, I'm probably done now. But
good now, yeah. I saw it. I was Ollie doing everything. What's Ollie gonna do next? He gonna open up a frozen custard stand or something?
Hey, man, I try it all till I find something.
You found your lane. You found
I'm done at this point. Like the only thing I'll probably do is notary work in the off season. I'm not doing IA. That's it. I like this lane. My focus is cleaning business. All that money funnels in, and then have a place, people. When y'all start making money, doing whatever you're doing, don't just go and blow it. I did that early on when I first got out of college. Like I started seeing actual money. Not the money you make working at Walmart or wherever, but making real money, and you start blowing it as quick as it's coming in. Have a place where you set aside maybe, this much money to go to investing, right? It could be as simple as putting $50 a week into a crypto or a stock or something, right? Like it don't take, trust me, y'all think it take a lot to start seeing something. It don't take a lot. It just takes some consistency.
Takes time and consistency.
I remember back when I was in Phoenix living, and I was just investing like this was people thought I was just bought. I was putting $50 at a time at one point, and then I was able to get up to a point where I was putting 4 figures at a time. It didn't start off like that. It just turned into that because I was consistent enough to be willing to put in, every like on a regular basis. It wasn't just like no sporadic thing.
Yeah.
So have a place for this money that y'all getting, because y'all, that's how you gonna see the wealth that y'all claim y'all want to have, is by having an avenue to funnel this into. For me, now I'm looking at real estate because that just makes the most sense. I'm still doing crypto and stocks because this is the perfect time for crypto and stocks. Honestly, the way the market looking, like if you ain't putting money in at least once a month, like I don't know what you're doing right now.
Yeah,
because the market that's what y'all been asking for. That's what y'all been begging for. And then when it gets to this point, y'all get scared. And then y'all hitting me up like, what should I do? I'm like, well, I ain't doing nothing different than what I've been telling you to do. So
DCAs, man, dollar cost average. But yeah, no, Ollie, I sincerely appreciate you having me on, man. I love talking to similarities between these.
Oh, for sure, man. Hey, you always welcome back
dope
on the show, my brother, man. I appreciate you, man. And hey, like I say, people, y'all can hit me up in the DMs for anybody y'all may want to see some return guests, which I'm probably about to start having. I've actually been talking to a couple people about getting them back on. People just be busy, man, and I'm busy, so it's kind of hard to coordinate it. So I'm gonna try to make sure I get these episodes out once a week. I had to take a break for some family stuff, but
absolutely,
I'm gonna get y'all out. But y'all know, man, like I say on every episode, man, we're good at success. If everyone around you is still struggling, man, each one reach one, each one teach one, man. That's another episode of What for the Culture. I'm your host, Ollie Brady. Appreciate you, my guy Royal, for coming back through, man. That's another episode of What for the Culture, man, and we out.